fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The mirror's surface rippled like liquid mercury, its ornate silver frame humming beneath my palms. I'd never believed in fate, not after years of bloodied steel and broken vows, but the temple demanded a spouse's oath to enter the obsidian labyrinth, and I needed that cursed blade. I thought back to all the battles I'd fought, the lives I'd lost, and the weight of my solitude. The silence was deafening, a constant reminder of my isolation. I remembered the smell of sweat and blood, the sound of clashing steel, and the feeling of emptiness that followed each victory. "Show me my soulmate," I growled, the ancient words ash on my tongue. The glass smoked, then reshaped into a face that stopped my breath. High cheekbones dusted with scarlet scales, lips stained pomegranate red, eyes burning like forge fires beneath a cascade of ink-black hair. Her smirk hit me like a gut punch. I felt my heart racing, my palms growing sweaty as I gazed into her eyes. "Well," she purred, voice like velvet over steel, "aren't you a tasty morsel?" I forced my voice steady, trying to hide the tremble that threatened to betray me. "Kale, and I need a wife." Her laugh coiled low in my belly, a sultry sound that sent shivers down my spine. "Oh, mortal, you need a miracle." She leaned closer, her breath fogging the glass. "Lyra, meet me at the moonlit grove, bring steel." The mirror darkened, leaving me hard breathing. I stood there for a moment, trying to process what had just happened. The grove's reputation whispered through my mind, a place where shadows fed. But as dusk fell, I went anyway, sword heavy at my side. The air reeked of jasmine and burnt copper, a scent that seemed to cling to my skin like a bad omen. As I walked, the trees seemed to loom over me, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to snatch me. I shivered, despite the warmth of the evening. The sound of crickets and the rustling of leaves filled the air, a soothing melody that did little to calm my nerves. Beneath the weeping willow, Lyra waited, her smile sharp enough to draw blood. She was even more beautiful than I'd imagined, her eyes gleaming like embers in the fading light. "So you're Kale," she said, her voice husky and confident. "I must say I'm intrigued." I felt a surge of desire, a spark of attraction that I couldn't ignore. "And I'm intrigued by you, Lyra," I replied, trying to sound suave despite the turmoil in my chest. "What makes you think I need a miracle?" She chuckled, the sound sending shivers down my spine. "Oh, Kale, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into. The obsidian labyrinth is no joke. It's a trial by fire, a test of your courage and your wits." I felt a surge of determination, a burning need to prove myself. "I'm not afraid of a challenge," I said, trying to sound braver than I felt. Lyra raised an eyebrow, her eyes glinting with amusement. "We'll see about that," she said, her voice dripping with sarcasm. "So what do you say? Are you ready to face whatever lies within the labyrinth?" I took a deep breath, steeling myself for what was to come. "I was born ready," I said, trying to sound confident. Lyra laughed, the sound echoing through the trees. "We'll see about that," she repeated, her eyes glinting with a mixture of amusement and curiosity. As we stood there, the darkness seemed to press in around us, a living, breathing entity that pulsed with an otherworldly energy. I felt a shiver run down my spine, a sense of foreboding that I couldn't shake, but I was determined to see this through, to face whatever lay within the labyrinth and emerge victorious. "Let's do this," I said, my voice firm. Lyra smiled, her eyes gleaming with a fierce light. "Then let us begin," she said, her voice dripping with anticipation. And with that, we set off into the unknown, the darkness swallowing us whole. As we walked, the trees seemed to grow taller, their branches twisting and turning in ways that seemed impossible. The air grew thick with an eerie, pulsating mist that seemed to seep into my bones. I could feel the weight of the labyrinth bearing down on me, a crushing pressure that threatened to consume me. But I pressed on, my heart pounding in my chest, my sword at the ready. Lyra walked beside me, her eyes fixed on some point ahead, her face set in a determined expression. I couldn't help but wonder what secrets she held, what mysteries lay hidden behind those piercing eyes. The silence between us was palpable, a living, breathing thing that seemed to pulse with its own rhythm. I felt a sense of unease, a feeling that I was walking into a trap, but I couldn't turn back now. I had to see this through, no matter what lay ahead. The mist grew thicker until I could barely see my hand in front of my face. I stumbled, my foot catching on a hidden root, and Lyra caught my arm, her touch sending a jolt of electricity through my body. "Steady," she said, her voice low and husky. "We're almost there." And then suddenly we emerged into a clearing, the mist parting like a curtain to reveal a massive stone door, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols that seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. Lyra smiled, her eyes glinting with a fierce light. "Welcome to the obsidian labyrinth," she said, her voice dripping with anticipation. "Let's see if you're worthy of the challenge." I steeled myself, my heart pounding in my chest, my sword at the ready. I knew that what lay ahead would be a test of my courage, my wits, and my strength, but I was ready. I was born ready. And with that, I pushed open the door and we stepped into the unknown, the darkness swallowing us whole.